Hi everybody! Welcome to our Quilt Block Swap Fall 2020. I am so excited. Thanks for wanting to participate. So this video is just a short tutorial on the block if you choose to do the block pattern. I call it Windows Around the World. It kind of looks like a little window. It's just 4 blocks and then some sashing in the middle. So on the pattern it tells you the different sizes. There's a 6x6, a 4x6, a 6x4, and a 4x4. And then there's the 1.5 by 6, 1.5 by 4, and then 1.5 by 11. I made this 11 because then it just makes squaring up a little bit easier if there's some hanging over. So let's get started. So the first step, I have some here. The first step is to sew blocks A, B, and C together. And I've already done that. And I've pressed all of the seams away from the middle. And then the next step is to sew E, F, G together. And again, I've pressed all those seams away from the middle. The next step is to take your 1.5 by 11 strip and sew that to the ABC group. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to press open the seam, or set my seam, and then press it away from the white. And see, you can kind of see here it hangs over a little bit, but that's okay. It'll make it easier when you go to square up your block. So then the next step is to take your EFG and sew that to the bottom. So really the only lining up you have to do on this one is you want to make sure your seams for your window pane here are the same. So you just kind of line it up as best as you can. And I use clips, but you can pin it if you use pins, just to keep it and hold it in place. It doesn't have to be perfect, but best as you can is the best. Okay, so let's sew that down. Again, I'm going to set my seam and press it open. All right, and there it is. So the next step is to square it up. And I have a 10.5-inch ruler, because my brain has a hard time squaring things up if the ruler's too big or too small. But you don't have to have a 10.5-inch. So what I do is I just line up the pane here with one of the lines in my ruler, the seam for one of the white panes, and same way with this way. I just line up the line on my ruler with the seam attaching the D to the other block. And that's pretty good. My turner thing's a little smaller than it needs to be. all squared up. So the reason I picked this pattern was because when you go get your other blocks, you don't have to worry about matching up the seams. So like we'll take these two. It's supposed to be offset a little bit like this. So it's supposed to give it just a little view through somebody's window is what it's supposed to be. So when you go to pick your fabrics, there's no set pattern or color. Just pick what describes you, what pattern makes you happy, what your favorite color, anything that if somebody saw it they would say, oh, that looks like whatever your name is. And then again, make sure you somewhere on your block write your name and where you're from and November 2020, so that when we get our blocks, we know who they came from, and when we put together our friendship quilt, we can look on it forever. Thanks. Have fun putting together your blocks.